One of my most schizoid beliefs is actually that there is some form of corruptedness, there is some form of evil. And I'm talking to you like a friend. I'm just entertaining ideas. Imagine we're sitting around a fire, you're smoking a cigar, we're having a chat. We're going late into the night, we're talking about these things. My most schizoid probably belief at the moment is that there are evil things that are in high power. A lot of people like to point to the Jew, the Cohens, the Bergs. They like to say it's them that run the world. I think that there is. It says in the Bible, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and evil in high places. I think that there are evil in high places that are not perhaps human. Um, there's also the sick nature of these elite, that their willingness to harm children is, it doesn't make sense. Where does this thread lie? Is it the adrenochrome? Is it these things? It doesn't add up. And I think, why are there so many? When you look at the threads, there's a great guy on YouTube named Mouthy Buddha that I come across years ago. It's actually crazy because I had mentioned him in a video prior, and his channel got taken down again. They're just coming for this dude. But the videos he would put were just the threads were crazy, going into the Clintons and the Epsteins of the world and all this perverseness at the top. So what I'm what I'm getting at is that the evil in high places, there was some sort of, they can't communicate with you directly. So how they do it is through the internet. There's an old meme, the king's pact binds them, where they can't tell you directly, so they tell you through memes. They tell you through the internet. They speak to you through social media. You hear them through different frequencies, through music. Now, if we're to go back to that old philosopher's idea of spooks, well, then we just painted a picture for what could be considered a memetic hazard. I believe that a memetic hazard is something. Let me bring it back a little bit. Think of a pink elephant. That would be a memetic hazard. Try not to think of a pink elephant. Your mind naturally has no choice but to think of a pink elephant. They've done studies where when wide scale suicide is publicized, there's actually more suicides that take place. A sort of memetic hazard, a mental spirit that occupies the mind. It's very interesting too that my neighbor committed suicide video is one of my most watched videos. Very crazy that YouTube would put that. It's also very crazy that YouTube promotes all of these another video that went really got a lot of views is going retarded from isolation. It's like YouTube promotes these sad boy, these sad sort of these stories. And you see that one dude working at 7-Eleven trapped, where you always see these just guys I quit my I don't know what to do with my life. I'm severely depressed and I work a 9 to 5 at 35 years old. Something of that nature. You get what I'm saying? My videos, I use that title as a way to people see that, but it's never me complaining about the life, because we have power. We are a force. We can do something about that. But the memetic hazard, man, is a real thing. I believe it was talked about in this book. I haven't read this book. This is all theory. This is all me just little things I've seen on the, looking it up. But the memetic hazard is real. And I believe that we actually the modern man deals with more memetic hazard than we know of. And what happens is this spirit, this was really the missing link when I was began to think about this about 3 years ago when I lived in Cleveland. We actually deal with these more than ever before, and the theory is that they're promoted. And I think more than ever, the modern man has to siphon through. He has to deal with them. I think that prawn is a memetic hazard. If you just think about the nature of prawn, it would almost be like torture if you as a man were tied up and forced into a ring where a bunch of people were having sex. It's very cucked. I don't say that to become, you don't go to war with these things. You accept them. You view them. You are more powerful than them. I think that certain drugs like marijuana have an ability to take a mind and make it fertile soil for these memetic hazards. I think it opens the mind so much that too much is able to go in. And I think it can change your fundamental understanding of reality. I actually think nicotine, in the way it is actually very good.
I like it. It's mine. The prices blow my mind. I feel so rich.
Actually very good. For concentrating the mind. There's a joke that, you know, nicotine is a fertilizer. It kills off bugs, so it kills off the bug man in you. I don't recommend using nicotine. It is addictive. I enjoy cigars. I enjoy snus, but I don't recommend it because it is addicting. So be careful. I don't think it is as harmful as they've made it out to be. You know, I think there are certain things that they've made seem very harmful that are not as harmful. I think smoking is probably pretty bad because there's a bunch of bullshit in there. Hitting cigarettes because you're inhaling. But it's very interesting that weed is so used by so many young people. And now it's legal. You know, everyone, and now we have a rise in like people questioning their identity and their sexuality. Why is that? Fertile ground for spooks, for hermetic hazards to enter. So we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but evil in high places. I think there's a lot of these. I think a lot of the music these days is meant to, I have this idea that music ultimately is meant to destroy something within you. In a good way. I mean that in the best way. I think that one of the reasons I like death metal, I actually don't listen to that much music. I like a large array of music. I like jazz, I like blues, I like classical, I like some EDM. And my brain, like, obviously I hear a song, it sounds good immediately. I find the songs that sound good the most immediately are actually the songs that grow oldest and you're done with them. But they also put a fucking earworm inside of you. Like, what is an earworm? Like, really? You're about to approach a girl? You're about to approach a girl and you got little, whatever his name is, you got, ever since I was a kid, I've been legit. You're just fucking rubbing your little hands together. You're just hyping yourself up. Ever since I was a kid, I've been legit. Come on, man. It's a bunch of bullshit, dude. You know, once you realize that, I think that is a sort of memetic hazard. There's music that ingrains itself into your freaking head. It lives in there like a little worm. Just, you know, whenever you ever just start singing a random lyric, like, why is that? Why do you sing a random lyric? If you notice, when you sing a random lyric, it often has a correlation to what you're dealing with in life. You're feeling sad, you start singing a little sad song. Feeling happy, you start singing, the rest is still unwritten. You start singing some freaking, you're like, what? I don't even like that song. It's just in your head, dude. It's in your head. So, you know, music for me is a means to sort of destroy. One of my favorite bands is a Swedish band called Vildiarta. I think that means wild at heart. I can't even understand what they're saying. But the things they're doing with that guitar jack, just freaking bending. It's like two worlds colliding. It just destroys you. Just anything you're in your head, you go back to retard mode, dude. You're just back to reality, baby. Back to reality. There's no earworms in there, you know. Freaking another band, Mirar, Mirar. There's no earworms in there, but even blues. I mean, blues, jazz. Kind of. Imagine you're a guy listening to Beethoven for some off chance you're a farmer's son and you get tickets to Beethoven somehow. I don't know. You know, the apothecary came into town, the snake oil salesman, and your dad gets 2 tickets to Beethoven, and you go to the hall and you hear Beethoven, dude. You're gonna sit there absolutely just in awe. Beethoven. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. What's the other guy? The 5 Seasons Winter, Vivaldi. Is that, what's his name? The other composer. I mean, you're gonna be destroyed when you leave that. You're gonna be you won't have an earworm. You have an experience. You're not gonna have a chorus. You're gonna have absolute destruction. You're gonna look at your life in a different way. You're gonna be remade new. You're gonna be reborn. So anyway, we go back to hermetic hazards, man. I just think more than ever we have to deal with them. And it's very in more ways than I'm describing. I mean, Netflix. I remember the first time I watched I think my first show on Netflix was Ozarks. Ozarks. That was it.
Breaking news. It might sound.
And I'm watching the show with my girl, and we're deep into it. Okay, it's good. It's getting good. And there's this one freaking episode where the one cop is just overtly homosexual, and he's like, he's talking to this one guy. He comes in, so he's like, "Fuck me, you big bear. Fuck me, you big bear." I'm like, dude, what the fuck is going on? Turn this shit off, because I knew right there. This show is trying to do something. And then every time I watch Netflix now, dude, there was a whole thing where they came out with that video of the Cuties a couple years ago. These like young girls dancing and stuff. No, I'm telling you, in a couple of years, they're gonna make pedophilia normal. They're trying to just integrate it. It's a slow drip, a slow process. They're gonna integrate that. And you know, I'm telling you, these are my theories, these are my ideas. This is the mental shit. This is getting it out. But it's like it's everywhere, man. It's just everywhere. And how can you become a full force of a man when you got to deal with this bullshit? And so I'm not telling you this for you to worry about it. I'm telling you this as a call to sort of action, because the Bible also tells us something about dealing with these memetic hazards. It tells you this. It says, put on the armor of God. And I know a lot of you guys don't believe in God, but we can all agree that there's something here. It says, put on, I'm gonna butcher this because I don't know the exact order. Put on the breastplate of righteousness. Take up the sword of truth. Wear the sandals of just this and that righteous action. Be righteous. Tell the truth. Be truthful. Be honorable. Put on the full freaking armor. Put on the full freaking armor. If you want to be a force in this life, you're going to have to overcome these memetic hazards, because you do deal with them, and we do wrestle against principalities in high places, things that we don't even know. We deal with things that we don't even see, energies, frequencies, evil, corruption. And if you're truly going to retard max, and you're going to be free, and you're going to be in the most powerful being and place you can be, you're going to need to put on that armor, dude. You're going to need to guard yourself. The Bible also tells us to take every thought captive. What does that mean? We capture every thought. We capture every thought. Just as I can walk the line, you can see the outskirts. You can see the dimension, how easy it is to slip into different ways of being and being consumed. What you reach into reaches out into you. You don't just get to reach in, it reaches back into you, man. It reaches back into you. You know, it's you gotta put on that armor. You gotta keep your mind sound. But you can't, here's the ultimate thing, is you can't be mad. You can't be angry. Because anger corrupts. Anger actually makes you more like the thing. Anger is a form of reaching. You have to put on armor. Armor doesn't reach. Armor simply keeps you safe. It keeps you from being penetrated by the enemy's arrows. You understand? So it's a sword of truth, the sword of righteousness that cuts. So you have to be righteous, and you can't let yourself slip, man. I see too many guys slipping. Too many guys getting mad at women. You're falling for the game, dude. You're falling for the side, but you're still in your head. You're falling for all of the thinking. So it's not by getting angry, it's not by getting worked up. You got to remain childlike. You know, if there's one reason why the elites go after children, it's because they are childlike. As Jesus said, you must become just like a child to enter the kingdom of heaven. To, you know, take something so innocent and try to pervert it, to try to corrupt it. So ultimately, when you realize your true power, you're a man, and that's all you need. That is all you need. And you're not owed anything, but you have the potential. You are in a state of becoming. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. You understand? No weapon. No outside force will prosper against you when you put on the armor. And that's high thumos, man. That is high thumos. You know,
But did you know?
It's one of the reasons in our group, you know, we all show our face. We try not to use language that is meant to, not to be like the average. There's a lot of language these days, even on the internet, like you know, this mincing of words, this nonchalant language. That this may seem like a boomer take, but I think the nonchalant language is actually there to corrupt. You have complete atheists saying, "My brother in Christ," like, you know, you have women saying, "Okay, bet." Like nonchalant language is not meant to be understood. It's meant to. It's like raccoon brain. So we must, you know, you gotta keep yourself from just falling into this state of just like corrupted mind. That's what it is, like a corrupted mind. It's too many memetic hazards, too many spooks, too many things to throw you off guard, too many things that turn you, instead of being in that childlike state. Energy, confidence, just courage, not overthinking, not spooked out, not tainted, right? At the end of the day, what you have in your heart, you build with your hands. In the famous words of August Burns Red, what we have in our heart, we build with our hands. So go out there, man. Create the world, you know? Build it up for good. I think that's it, man. High Thumos. Come talk with us in the group. God bless you, and may He keep you, and His face shine upon you. I'll see you soon. Peace.